Hey guys, I'm Melissa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 4 mind tricks that I use on myself to get myself to push through procrastination, take action, and just be productive even when I really don't feel like doing anything. And honestly, I just find that feeling like you want to procrastinate can just be one of the most destructive things if you do it long term and it becomes a habit, and it can just feel so frustrating and defeating because you have the good intentions when you wake up in the morning, you write a to-do list, you plan out all the things you're going to do that day, and then when you get to the end of the day and most of them haven't even come close to being done, you haven't even thought about doing it, or you just pushed it off, it really doesn't feel all that good. And so I've come up with a few mind tricks that really help me to kind of push through that feeling and just take action whether I feel like it or not. And the reason I call them mind tricks is honestly, I think productivity and getting yourself to break through procrastination is 99.9% mental. A lot of it is all in your mind. You can tell yourself excuses. You can be like, oh, I was too tired, or I wasn't in the right mood to do that, or, I thought I deserved a break and so I didn't go do that. And yeah, maybe 1 or 2 days you can do that. But once you start using those same excuses for like a long time, it doesn't feel so good, and you're kind of like letting yourself off the hook, but you're not doing yourself any favors. And so if you're able to kind of get that mindset that is going to actually help you to say, you know what? I'm going to do this right now. And you find what works and what kind of enables you to get into that frame of mind where you're going to take action despite how you feel. That can just be so empowering. It can feel so good. And so I'm going to share those things that I do with you. The first one I've mentioned before on my channel, and it's worth repeating. If you haven't read the book, I recommend reading it. It's called The 5-Second Rule, and it's by Mel Robbins. And the reason I love this is that this kind of overrides that part of your brain that wants you to procrastinate. It's taking action within the first 5 seconds of having an idea or a thought that, hey, maybe I should go to the gym right now, or hey, maybe I should start writing the first chapter of my book. When you have that idea, if you take action on it within 5 seconds, like if you just say, maybe I've got an hour free right now, why don't I go to the gym? If you just get up, put those running shoes on, and start to take action, then you don't even give that part of your mind a chance to talk you out of it. You don't even have like the 10 minutes. Like if you sit there and you dwell on should I, shouldn't I, maybe you'll come up with a bunch of reasons to say, you know what? Just do it tomorrow. You've got a bunch of free time tomorrow. What's one more day of putting it off gonna hurt? What's the big deal? Like, you give yourself a chance to talk yourself out of it. And I don't know about you, but I'm really good at talking myself out of things if I want to. I'm very clever with coming up with excuses and allowing myself to believe the excuses, and I don't really like doing that all that much. So that's where the 5-second rule really is very handy, and I definitely recommend trying it. And there's so many different uses of it. Maybe you're like, oh, I've got a big mess in my kitchen, or I've got, a ton of laundry to do, and you're like, oh, okay, why don't I do it? And then before you know it, you're like, oh, let me just watch another half an hour of TV, and then you've talked yourself out of it. Like you had that impulse, and so, it basically is just acting when you feel like acting and doing it now. So that is number 1 on my list. I will write these in the description box of this video. So if you want a reminder, then you can copy and paste these and just keep these fresh in your mind when you feel like you are getting a little bit in the procrastination zone. Okay, so the second one is to create a fake sense of urgency. Now, I think this is kind of the funniest one that I do. This is something that works with me, so I just had to share it with you, even if you're going to have a little bit of a laugh. So basically, when you have a sense of urgency, like you've got a plane to catch, you take action because you have no other choice. So whether or not you feel like packing your bags and driving to the airport, whether or not you're in the mood to do that, or whether or not you're tired or whatever, you end up doing it because you've paid for the flight. The plane is going to take off with or without you, so you don't have that opportunity or that luxury to put it off. So because of that urgency, you have to take action. So you somehow pack that bag, get yourself to the airport, and get on the plane for that flight. So, so what you're going to do is you're going to create that sense of urgency even where it doesn't exist in order to get yourself to take action. And this one is all in your mind. This one really requires you to have a vivid imagination and really be comfortable making use of it. So one that I did, which was actually really funny. So I used the example of cleaning up my kitchen because that was something that I wanted to do. I really wanted to reorganize everything in my kitchen cupboards and shelves and do like a deep clean. And so something that I did, because I was like, I kept kind of putting it off. And I was like, you know what, I really want to do that. And I thought to myself, what would it take for me to actually just do that and spend the time, whether even if it takes a few hours, like what would the conditions need to be? And then I thought to myself, well, I guess if like someone like really like that I wanted to impress, or that I was just like, wow, they're coming to my house. If someone like a celebrity, like choose a random person that you admire, say it's Rihanna, and Rihanna knocked on my door, I wouldn't want to have a messy kitchen. I'd be like, oh my gosh, Rihanna's at my house for dinner, you know, and she's coming into my kitchen, into my house. What would I want my house to look like? And so now this might sound crazy because obviously Rihanna's probably not going to knock on my door, but do whatever it takes to get yourself to take action, and only you know what that is. So for you, if you're like a huge fan of a certain athlete and they were going to knock on your door and have dinner with you, what would you want your kitchen to look like? Or maybe for you, if you are more productive when your boss is around, when your boss at work is watching you work, you feel like, oh my gosh, in those circumstances, I really get to work and I get a lot of stuff done and I stop looking at my phone and I'm super productive. So maybe imagine that sense of urgency and say, hey, my boss is coming over in an hour to see what work I've done, to see if I finished that first chapter of my book that I'm working on, or to see if I finished that report that is due tomorrow. So by using your imagination this way and pretending there's a sense of urgency, that can actually help to get you to take action. At least, you know, get yourself up off the couch, up off your seat, to go into the office and start working on whatever it is that you have to get done. Because without that sense of urgency, like if you have an unlimited amount of time to get a task done, it's so easy to push it off. I remember hearing in an audiobook that I listened to, it was called, I believe it's called The Procrastinator's Handbook by Rita Emmett, and it was an amazing book. It was packed full of so many great tips. So I will link it in the description box down below. Hopefully I got the name right. And in that book, she said something that really brought this point home to me and really allowed me to understand the sense of urgency and how that plays in our minds and with our actions. And so she said, say you had guests coming to stay with your house and they're coming in 2 days and you have 2 days to clean all the rooms and get everything ready. It usually takes you that full 2 days to get all the tasks done. But she's like, if your guests are coming tomorrow and you only have 1 day, you somehow get all of those tasks done in 1 day. It's because you kind of expand into the time that you give yourself to work on something. So by creating that sense of urgency and imagining that you only have a day to get this done, it's a great way to get yourself to actually do it. And so I hope you guys understood that and that I explained that point clear enough. But having a sense of urgency or creating a false sense of urgency is something that really, really helps. Okay, so the next one here on my list is a 10-minute timer. Now, timer methods are super popular in productivity books, and for a reason. Like, there are so many different timer methods, but I find that a 10-minute timer, there's something about 10 minutes, it's such a small amount of time that it's not overwhelming, that it's like, you know what, no matter how busy you are, if you set a 10-minute timer, you can at least get something done. It's pretty hard to procrastinate on 10 minutes. You know, no matter how busy you are or how tired you are, I think you can find the energy to say, you know, let me just set 10 minutes and I'll do 10 minutes of cleaning, or I'll do 10 minutes of writing, or I'll do 10 minutes of exercise. And then what ends up happening is, most of the time for me anyway. So for example, say I'm like, I don't feel like exercising, or I don't feel like going for a walk, or I don't feel like cleaning, whatever it may be. If I set a 10-minute timer, what ends up happening is, now that I'm up and doing the task and working on it, once 10 minutes has passed and the timer goes off and it dings, then I'm like, whatever, I'm up now, I'm doing it. I may as well continue. And then I end up doing more than 10 minutes of the activity most of the time, which is awesome because you've got that initial momentum going. You've gotten that lethargy and that feeling of not taking action out of the way because you're doing the task now. But the 10-minute timer is just such a great way because, you know what, either way it's a win-win. Either you end up doing more than 10 minutes and it's what it took to get you to take action, or you get 10 minutes of something done, and that's better than zero. So, and also for me personally, I like the timers that go tick, 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 tick with an actual noise, because something about hearing that time pass really helps me to hyper focus on what I'm doing and like prevent me from picking up my phone or doing anything else, because I'm like, ooh, the time's going by. I only have 10 minutes. Now I have 9 minutes. Now I have 8 minutes. And it really gets me motivated and gets me like excited to do whatever it is I'm doing and see how much I can do in that 10 minutes. It almost turns it into like a productivity game. So for me, I love doing a 10-minute timer, and I highly recommend trying that one out. All right, last on my list for getting stuff done and being productive. This one particularly helps when you're feeling lazy and you're not feeling like, you're just kind of feeling tired or just not like actually energetic. This one helps to really give you that energy to do something, and it's great for a workout. And this one comes from Alex, and this is something that he does all the time, and I've started doing it a lot more as well. Is to listen to music with a fast beat. Listen to up-tempo music, and it can really, something about the beat of the music, like I don't know about you, but when I'm on a treadmill, if I have like fast, loud beats going on in my ears, it makes me really like go to the beat. It's almost like I'm moving to that fast pace. And the same can happen, like this is great for when you're cleaning. You know, if you're cleaning and you have that loud music on, it's like boom, 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 boom. For me, it really helps me to kind of move to that rhythm, move to that beat, and it like just, it wakes me up and it just makes me feel energetic. Alex does a lot of computer work. He does a lot of design work on the computer, and he'll actually sit right here. I've got a huge screen behind the camera, and he'll put on YouTube. The most recent one that we've been listening to is Afrojack, the DJ Afrojack. He has some of his DJ sets of him at like outdoor festivals and concerts. And there's actually some live ones as well, and it's just been so fun to like listen to his music. And so Alex is sitting here doing his computer work, and then I put my laptop just on the glass table in the kitchen, and I've been doing my work as well, and it's actually been so good for just keeping me feeling productive and energetic, and I've really found that it's super effective. All right, guys, my video just stopped recording because my memory card was full. So sorry about that, but I'm going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed those 4 mind tricks for productivity and overcoming procrastination. And thank you so much for being a part of my channel. I hope you have a beautiful day. If you have any questions for me or comments or things that you would love for me to share in an upcoming video, then feel free to comment on this video or any of my recent videos, or you can message me on Instagram, on my Facebook. It's all at MelissaAlexandria01. All right, I will see you next time. Until then, love yourself and make the most of this beautiful day. Bye.